Rhode from Washington. Thank you for joining JCPA Online in Jerusalem.
Nice to be here.
Harold is a retired senior officer in the U.S. Secretary of Defense's Office for Islamic Affairs and Turkish desk officer. We thought it would be very important to contact you to ask about this potential earthquake, which we in the Middle East are sensing to our north in Turkey, a political earthquake. What has happened between Erdogan and his prime minister?
Erdogan wants to be sultan. He wants to be all-powerful, a dictator, a tyrant. Anybody who stands in his way is a problem. Davutoğlu was his lackey for many years. The point is that when he became prime minister, he decided that he was going to speak up. We don't really know the details. We never will. But what is amazing, how Davutoğlu just collapsed.
Was this over Kurdish issues, perhaps?
Could be. We don't know. I think the bottom line is that there were many issues it could be. It has to do with Erdogan having supreme and all power, which is what his goal is.
How does this impact on the combat in Syria?
Well, Erdogan, on one hand, is supposedly helping the Americans for ISIS, but on the other hand, he's actually helping ISIS, and his CIA, his Mossad, got angry at reporters who were documenting ISIS people going back and forth, in and out, over the Turkish border into Syria and into Iraq. And they got in trouble for this. He has them on trial at the moment now. On Syria, look, he's playing all sides at once. His goal is to have an Islamic state that he runs, that he's the head of. All the world eventually has to be Muslim. There are two worlds. There's the world where Islam rules and the world of war that it will rule. And he wants to run the whole thing. He's a megalomaniac. Nothing unusual for him.
Well, I understand that a Soviet ship just recently went through the waters of Turkey loaded with tanks, probably headed towards Assad, and it was escorted by a Turkish ship.
Sure.
This is playing all sides, I take it.
No, I don't think this is that Erdogan respects power, and the Russians are prepared to use it. And Erdogan has seen what Russia is prepared to do, and they see weakness on Europe giving in, and they see weakness on the part of the American president. So he can push them as far as he wants. But Russia, he won't dare, because he's afraid what Russians will do to him. That's a message that the Europeans, and especially the American president, should be listening to.
Interesting. What does this mean for the potential of a Israeli-Turkish agreement on gas or some type of return to previous relations?
Well, it's a pie in the sky. You will have over and over again. I mean, we can't know the future. But what you're getting is basically wishful thinking on some on the Israeli side. As long as Erdogan is president, or as ruler, let's call him, of Turkey, then I don't see how something like this is possible. Erdogan hates Jews. He hates the Israelis. And a very interesting story that someone told me before, which is that when asked about how he understands the Jews of Turkey, he said that they love him like Muhammad, like the Jews love Muhammad. And the fact of the matter is that Muhammad, when he was in Medina, destroyed the Jews, and as he was killing his people were killing the leader of the largest Jewish tribe, Muhammad was, let's say, having relations with his wife at exactly the same time. That's love. That's Erdogan. That's what he's all about.
And that's alarming.
Yes.
Harold Rhode, I thank you very much for your expertise and for joining us at JCPA Online.